He was a boy.
Enjoy your flight.
Everything he owns is made out of metal.
Oh, reliable.
His blood type spells AK-47.
Get out of my sight!
Though he only donates other people's blood.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're running, jumping, exploding, and probably screaming through 25 must-play run-and-gun games from 1985 all the way to 2025. Retro classics, modern masterpieces, and everything in between. Before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe to keep this channel alive and our thumbs working. Contra Operation Galuga. Contra Operation Galuga brings the legendary series back with a full remake of the original Contra story. You play as Bill and Lance once more, blasting your way through alien forces with new visuals, voice acting, and updated mechanics. The game keeps the classic soul, intense platform shooting, silly explosions, and incredible boss fights. The reimagined weapons feel great, and the special abilities add more strategy. There are also multiple difficulty options, so both newcomers and veteran players can enjoy the chaos. Some fans say a few levels feel shorter than expected, and micro tweaks to movement can take time to adjust. But overall, this game revives Contra in the best way and proves the franchise still rocks. Gunstar Heroes. Gunstar Heroes is a colourful playground of non-stop shooting madness from Treasure. You choose between free aiming or fixed aim shooting styles, then combine different gun types to make crazy weapons. Flamethrower lightning beam? Yes, please. The stages constantly change with wild set pieces like sky chases and giant robot battles. Every boss feels memorable, especially Seven Force, who transforms into multiple deadly mecha forms. The game might feel a bit short, and the visual chaos can get confusing when everything explodes at once. Still, the creativity here is unmatched for the era. It's fast, fun, and full of personality, making it one of the most beloved run-and-gun games of the 16-bit age. Metal Slug 3. Metal Slug 3 is often called the peak of the franchise. The animation is gorgeous, filled with goofy soldiers, weird aliens, crabs, and zombies. Multiple branching paths give high replay value, so every run can feel different. The boss battles are epic and often take over the entire screen. Difficulty can be brutal, since one wrong move means instant death. Also, it sometimes feels like the game is trolling you, especially in the zombie section, where vomiting becomes a weapon. But that is part of its charm. Metal Slug 3 is full of style, humour, and artillery explosions that make your heart happy. It remains one of the best run-and-gun games ever created. Contra 3, The Alien Wars. Contra 3 ramps everything up to maximum. Huge bosses, vehicles, explosions everywhere, and a soundtrack that shouts Warzone. There are also top-down rotation stages that give gameplay a different feel. It demands fast reflexes and memory of enemy patterns. The game can feel extremely difficult, especially for people without the Konami code guiding their destiny. But that intensity is the reason players keep returning. You feel like an unstoppable soldier fighting impossible odds. Contra 3 still stands strong as one of the most cinematic shooters on the SNES and a perfect showcase of how a sequel can push boundaries while staying true to its run and gun core.
Well, Cuphead and his pal.
Cuphead. Cuphead mixes classic animation with cruelly difficult run-and-gun boss battles. Every fight looks like a cartoon from the 1930s, with hand-drawn art and jazzy music. The game is mostly boss-focused, although platforming stages exist too. Many beginners feel like the game is bullying them until they finally learn patterns and land the perfect parry. Sometimes you will yell things Cuphead's mum should never hear, but every victory feels earned and incredibly satisfying. Add the delicious Last Course expansion and local co-op, and Cuphead becomes a modern classic. The creativity, style, and attention to detail make this one unforgettable. and a great reminder that animation and action can be best friends. Blazing Chrome. Blazing Chrome is a love letter to classic Contra games. Robots take over the world and you fight back with chunky guns, hoverbikes and cool power-ups. The pixel art is sharp and enemy waves are constant. It never relaxes, which is perfect for people who love fast action. A couple of levels include one-hit kill segments that might annoy some players. Also, the story is minimal, but the gameplay shines brighter than a rocket blast. Co-op mode doubles the fun, and different characters add replay value. Blazing Chrome proves modern indie developers can carry the run and gun torch with style and pure adrenaline.
Metal Slug.
Metal Slug. Metal Slug kicked off the franchise with stunning sprite animation and goofy charm that no one expected. You jump into tanks, rescue mustached hostages, and collect weapons that feel powerful and satisfying. Some people think it is a bit short, and the one-hit deaths might frustrate new players, but the humour and animation still feel amazing. The aliens, soldiers, and over-the-top bosses bring a fun, cartoonish vibe to war. Metal Slug has a simple goal: run forward and blow things up while laughing. This first game laid the foundation for an iconic series that gamers still love today, and it remains a must-play for arcade action fans everywhere. Contra. Contra erupted into arcades and NES homes with two-player blasting that felt futuristic for its time. You moved through jungles, enemy bases, and alien hives while using the spread gun, which every gamer knows is the best gun ever invented. Difficulty is high and continues vanish instantly, which can feel cruel. The pseudo 3D based stages also take practice to master. Even with those challenges, Contra became a massive hit. It introduced teamwork chaos, iconic power-ups, and the legendary Konami code. The game's influence is still seen in modern shooters. Contra proved that fast action plus weird alien monsters equals a formula that never goes out of style. Contra Hardcore. Hardcore takes Contra difficulty and cranks it through the roof. You choose between multiple characters with unique weapons, giving the game different paths and endings. The boss battles come fast and in strange forms, like robots riding motorcycles. The screen is always packed, so survival feels like a miracle. Some players find it too tough, especially if they don't memorize patterns, but that intensity creates a huge sense of accomplishment. The Genesis hardware gets pushed hard with fast movement and detailed sprites. Hardcore may scare casual players, but fans of intense challenge call it one of the boldest and most interesting Contra games ever.
Healthy living by making living unhealthy. In Huntdown.
Huntdown celebrates 1980s action movies with pixel art, neon cities, and one-liners that would make Arnold proud. You play as bounty hunters cleaning up gangs in a cartoon cyberpunk world. The combat feels weighty and fun, and each gang has themed levels and bosses with big personalities. Some sections feel a little slow or repetitive, but the shopkeepers, announcers, and overall humour make every encounter enjoyable. The game looks stylish, with explosions and lighting effects everywhere. Huntdown brings modern polish to the classic run-and-gun formula, proving this genre still has room for new ideas and cool jackets. Broforce. Broforce is pure chaos and America-powered comedy. Every character is a parody of action heroes, from Rambro to Brobocop. The levels are destructible, so gunfire turns platforms into dust. Sometimes you accidentally blow yourself up, which is hilarious and painful. A few characters feel stronger than others, and the chaos can make you lose track easily, but playing with friends creates fantastic group laughter. Freedom and explosions go hand in hand here. The game constantly surprises players with silly enemies and wild set pieces. It's a loud celebration of action movies and a guaranteed fun time if you love stupid humour with your bullets.
Metal Slug!
Metal Slug X. Metal Slug X revisits Metal Slug II with improved performance and added surprises. The animations are packed with detail, like fat transformations, mummies, and goofy soldiers panicking. The game gives more weapons and enemies than the original version, and levels feel faster and smoother. Some players wish for even more content changes, but most agree this is the best version of the second game. The humour stays strong, and co-op adds to the fun. Metal Slug X remains one of the greatest arcade shooters to enjoy with a friend, especially when you never stop shouting, "Take the prisoner!" Super Time Force Ultra. Super Time Force Ultra introduces a unique twist. You can rewind time and add past versions of yourself to help fight enemies. This creates puzzles and hilarious moments where your failed attempts become teammates. Some players say the screen gets overly busy with all the clones. The humour is silly and full of dumb jokes that keep things light. The variety of characters encourages experimentation. The time mechanics give countless ways to approach battles, making each level feel different. Even with the chaos, Super Time Force Ultra shows how creative run-and-gun games can be while still offering action and laughs.
Hardcore Uprising.
Hardcore Uprising. Hardcore Uprising serves as a modern-styled prequel to Contra Hardcore. It offers anime-inspired visuals and smooth gunplay. You can slide, dash, and perform stylish moves that feel more like a modern action game, but still keep the spirit of Contra alive. Difficulty remains high, and early levels can punish beginners. The Rising mode adds progression elements like upgrades, helping new players get stronger. The soundtrack is fantastic and fits the intense pace. Fans of classic run and gun shooters appreciate the challenge, and the co-op mode doubles the excitement. Hardcore Uprising is a great tribute to a legendary franchise. Before we continue, take a second to smash that like button, because these thumbs are doing serious exercise scrolling through gaming history. Also subscribe so you never miss our giant lists of games that ruin controllers and friendships. Comment below with your favourite run and gun game so far. Are you a Contra master, a Metal Slug warrior, or someone who just loves watching everything explode into tiny pixels? Super Contra, or Super C, Super Contra, known as Super C on NES, continues the alien war with faster pacing and nastier enemies. The overhead view stages return, but with improvements that feel more natural. The difficulty stays sharp. So many players see the game over screen more than the ending. The story remains simple. Shoot aliens and do not die. Everything feels smooth and responsive, which is key for survival. While some consider it slightly less flashy than Contra 3, this entry still offers intense co-op action and memorable bosses. Super Contra remains a strong sequel that kept the franchise rolling through the late 80s arcade scene. Turrican II: The Final Fight. Turrican II mixes exploration with run-and-gun action, giving players big stages instead of linear hallways. You shoot in multiple directions and use a powerful laser beam to sweep across screens of enemies. The level design encourages searching for secrets and extra lives. Some players wish for a clearer map since backtracking can get confusing. The soundtrack is especially iconic, full of catchy synth tracks that many fans still listen to today. The bosses feel epic and dangerous. Turrican II stands as one of the best action titles on Amiga, and an impressive example of creativity in the run-and-gun genre. Mighty Goose. Mighty Goose brings humour and stylish action together. You play a bounty hunting goose who honks, blasts enemies, and rides vehicles into battle. It has flashy pixel art with big effects and fun weapons. The difficulty is fair, though some upgrades feel a little repetitive later on. The game's silly attitude makes every moment entertaining, especially when honking interrupts bad guys' big speeches. The soundtrack pumps up the action with great energy. Mighty Goose proves run and gun shooters can be both cute and powerful. Anyone who wants metal slug vibes and a bird hero will have a great time. Alien Soldier. Alien Soldier leans heavily into boss rush design. Almost every screen contains a new monster ready to destroy you. The movement system includes dashing, hovering, and countering bullets, which feels amazing once mastered, but the learning curve is steep and beginners may struggle early on. The story is weird and hard to follow, but the focus is action. Treasure pushed the Sega Mega Drive to its limit with colourful visuals and fast gameplay. Fans love the challenge and skill-based combat. Alien Soldier remains a cult classic and a rewarding experience for players who enjoy mastering every move in battle. Mercenary Kings. Mercenary Kings mixes run and gun gameplay with crafting and mission-based structure. You collect materials from enemies and build new guns with different parts. Levels are reused in missions, which some players think becomes repetitive, but the weapon customization offers many ways to experiment. The pixel art has a fun cartoon style, and the co-op mode is great with friends. The pace is a little slower than traditional run and gun games, focusing more on exploration and collecting. Still, Mercenary Kings gives fans lots of gear to unlock and a different approach to the genre that can keep you busy for hours. Sunset Riders. Sunset Riders changes things up with a cowboy theme. You play bounty hunters chasing criminals across the Wild West. The bright arcade-style visuals stand out, and the humour brings personality to every outlaw. Some players think the game is short, but the action remains fun and sharp. The slide mechanic and explosive boss fights make each level exciting. The soundtrack brings the Western atmosphere to life. Sunset Riders continues to be a fan favourite for arcade enthusiasts, especially in co-op, where everyone yells "boom" whenever a dynamite stick lands. The game is a reminder that run-and gun shooters can explore any time and place. Alien Hominid. Alien Hominid began as a small flash game and grew into a full console title. The art style is hand-drawn and funny, showing agents getting blasted while aliens freak out. The game can be extremely tough, sending you right back after quick deaths. But the weapons and level variety keep things interesting. The humour never stops, whether you're hijacking cars or digging underground to surprise enemies. Alien Hominid feels energetic and mischievous. It created a strong fan base and showed indie developers could make a big impact with creativity and style. Alien Hominid Invasion. Alien Hominid Invasion keeps the humour but adds more roguelite elements and progression. Levels shuffle layouts and objectives, so each run feels different. The art remains bold and colourful, full of little jokes everywhere. Some long-time fans miss the pure linear action of the original, but the new style offers more replay value. Upgrades and abilities make the gameplay faster and more flexible. Couch co-op encourages teamwork and tons of laughter. Alien Hominid Invasion brings the wacky alien action into today's gaming scene, while keeping its heart in the right place. MERCS. MERCS moves toward a top-down military shooter style. You blast through jungles and enemy bases with heavy firepower. The arcade version has non-stop action and giant bosses that demand quick dodging. The home console port includes a campaign with more story elements. Some players find the controls stiff by modern standards. Still, the game offers satisfying explosions and classic run-and-gun energy. MERCS helped shape future military shooters and gave players a strong sense of being a one-man army charging into dangerous zones. It remains a solid old-school action game. Ikari Warriors. Ikari Warriors introduced rotating joystick shooting so players could move and aim separately. It was groundbreaking in arcades and gave players vehicles to drive through battlefields. By today's standards, it can feel slow and the long levels may test patience. But at the time, this was a major step for run-and-gun gameplay. The co-op mode added teamwork and lots of dramatic yells when grenades landed in the wrong place. Ikari Warriors set the stage for many games that came after it. The action spirit of the genre owes a lot to this classic title that paved the way. Contra 4. Contra 4 returns to intense 2D shooting with dual-screen stages on the Nintendo DS. The grappling hook adds a fun, vertical strategy, making players constantly watch enemies above them. Boss fights are huge and creative. The game feels difficult, maybe too much for new players, but classic fans appreciate the challenge. The characters move fast, and the weapons feel powerful. Contra 4 understands what fans love about the series and delivers it with modern smoothness. It brings the franchise back to form while respecting the roots that made Contra famous. Thanks for sticking with us through this wild, pixel-packed ride. Whether you love retro classics or modern shooters, these 25 run and gun games prove there's never a dull moment. Like, subscribe, and comment your favourite to keep the chaos and the fun going.